I was given prescribed with Vyvanse first, 30, right? Which is not that high, by the way. It's kind of mid dosage. But then when I went on to state insurance, my doctor wrote me for scripts for 30 Adderall, which is much higher. I don't know why she did that, but I took it and I was like, all right, this is my new dosage, a little high. Didn't really use it as much in the summertime. Sometimes I would only use half. And honestly, like, no shit, I would save them or throw them away. Like, honestly, like, there were very few occasions that I would give them to anyone, and I shouldn't even admit that, but I did. But, like, honestly, it's not a habit. It's not a fucking business. And it was when I was younger, and I haven't done that for a fucking long-ass motherfucking time, dude. Like, I am not a risk for this shit. It was more just like, oh, I have extras because I don't need it in the colder weather, so that's cool. And I don't want to use it if I don't need it, so I didn't use it if I didn't need it. But if I needed it in the heat, every day I needed it in the heat. Or I will start to faint or get very dizzy. And I will see stars. So yeah, it helps. But right now, just because like it's a long ass, it's fucking been a minute, dude. No, the XR never stopped working for me at all. I feel like it just was a part of my natural fucking biochemistry, honestly, after a certain point. Because when I didn't have it, I noticed. I won't be. Hi, sweetie. Hi. All right. I hope that Won't Be and Jen Girl can...
Anonymous sent $3. Did Abby's blood work come back? How was it? Please say you got her steroids by now.
Can you hear me? Sorry guys, there's no fucking speaker out here and I started my cigarette. No, I don't have her steroids, but I do have her script. Her blood test was fine. Her blood test is only to make sure she's biologically capable of taking the steroid, okay? So basically, like, I get the script because I don't like to pay the vet fees, so I take it to a human clinic, probably CVS. Well, we have Walgreens over here. So if she needs them, all I gotta do is just take them in and they're gonna be ready. But they are not daily meds for her. They're as needed, so she doesn't fucking need them right now. And the second that they're available, they're like $30. Or the second she needs it, I will literally just go. No, she isn't. No, she's not roid raging. No, but there's no need right now for her to have them. But if I need to, yes, I can afford it and I can grab it in like half an hour if that's an issue. And then I'll have plenty on hand, but they are not used daily. It's not like that. It stopped working for you. So like mine, okay, so my primary care doctor and I were very good at communicating and he was amazing. My favorite fucking doctor in the whole universe. Just amazing. Like he would have conversations with me. We would always address my condition because there were certain medications I just could not take. We also discussed meds that would interfere or make it better. Nick was convinced that if I took modafinil and Adderall, I'd be set with my medical issues. And that was Nick's opinion, right? And he was adamant on that. And he was like, dude, Shay, you should literally try to get both. And my primary and I both decided that was not the ideal way to go. And then we also decided that modafinil doesn't really raise your blood pressure the way that Adderall does, which is kind of my issue, right? My blood pressure drops out of nowhere. So, basically, yeah. I wouldn't say it stopped working because it always helped me when I needed it in the summer and the heat. But I will say when I used it every day in the summertime, I didn't really, yeah, there were moments when it didn't seem like it was working. Tweaking so hard, yes, absolutely. The sky is yellow. Your script says daily. Yeah, well, scripts are supposed to be daily, yes. But again, actually me and my primary would even like lower my dosage in the wintertime sometimes. We've done that before. To like, I think he gave me a 15, if that's even a thing. Maybe it was a 20. But he did lower it in the wintertime because we knew I didn't need 30 in the wintertime at all. So yeah, we did have a couple of seasons where we did that as well. And then summer comes and he raises it back to 30. So doctors are getting tights with benzos. Look, I actually really like muscle relaxers. I don't like downers though, but benzos make me ill and my medical issues worse. So I don't take, like, I'm not allowed to take fucking Zoloft, and Xanax will make me sick. So we decided no Zoloft or Xanax for my depression and anxiety. Instead, I have psych meds that are a little heavier, but they're very low doses, that don't affect my POTS that way. So I love my fucking doctor, dude. And if I wanted to spend hundreds of dollars to go back to Phoenix, pay for a $150 exam fee, and then pay $100 for the meds, I need about $500 to do that, but that's when I could get my script. It ain't worth it like that right now, okay? It's still cold out enough. I can hang. It just sucks. On days like this, I wish I had more Adderall. So, you know, Justin is not a doctor. No, my doctor in Scottsdale was, though. Yikes. that I had forever and ever and ever since 2017. I had another doctor before that, but like she left. But Dr. Dickey was amazing, like literally fucking amazing. And I think he may have retired, yeah. What's my psych by? No, I don't have BPD. Yikes. Imagine like my bio dad did though. I don't. I have a PTSD, which is probably CPTSD, and I hope that my next psychiatrist can help me develop a case for that, because I do believe I have multiple micro traumas that have contributed to a lot of PTSD situations and flashbacks. I don't have BPD though, and nobody with the real professional like education feels that way. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you got your, I didn't know that you guys were all fucking psychiatrists. Where are your degrees? Let me see. I'm the liar though, right? Weird. But I do have PTSD, anxiety, and severe depression. So I have my whole life. It's always been that way. Medical marijuana is good, but so here's the thing. So when I went back to my parents' house in 2019, I actually was on birth control. I was on like literally 7 meds, right? I went cold turkey. I like tapered down before I went to Ohio, but I wanted to know, because I was going to see my specialist in Toledo. I wanted to know how I reacted without certain meds. And if some didn't make a fucking difference, I stopped taking them. If some helped to not take, like the birth control, fucked up my shit, dude. No, we're not looping at all. This is literally brand new information. Anywho, yikes. I'm not even talking about anything you've ever heard me talk about before. So anyways, I basically ended up keeping the psych meds and the steroid that I take to keep my blood pressure raised, and then the Adderall. Those were the only 4 I kept out of like 7 or 8 meds, right? You've never heard of micro traumas? Interesting. So there's that. I don't know what to say about that one. I think that's a pretty common psych term, actually. Yikes. Yeah, I can. But it also, a lot of people with POTS that have my kind of POTS absolutely benefit from Adderall, although specialists will not specialists will not prescribe it to you because of the whole issue with the Adderall stuff. But they'll tell you that it's definitely been researched. So when I went to my Toledo doctor, I did so much research on stimulants and POTS. Well, I'm glad. Can you listen? I don't know if everybody else does. So this might be new for like 90% of these faggots, because they don't give a fuck about what I say. You though, my dear, I expect you to hear me when I say things like this. So you probably do remember. I brought it up very sparingly, but yes, I have. But yeah, no, basically like all I'm saying is like, yeah, dude, I mean, there's certain meds I really, really need to function properly and efficiently and be a functioning member of society. And I figured out that was my corticosteroid, Florinef, my Adderall, and then my 2 psych meds, which are very low doses of Abilify and Celexa, very low doses, by the way. But they really are helpful. And honestly, I haven't had them for the last month, and it's been really lame, actually. It's been awful. I have 3 medical conditions linked to a genetic mutation, the MTHR gene, okay? EDS, mast cell activation syndrome, and POTS. Wow. And those people that seem to have those 3 seem to have this genetic fucking mutation. There's not much further research beyond that, though. Although I did talk to my primary about it, and he was like, you know, I can't do shit if we find out you're mutated, but like, let's just find out. I'm like, let's go, dude. Like, let's go. So we took the test, and nothing was, you know, my primary didn't know what to do with that information. But it was interesting that people that have the 3 issues I have seem to also have that same genetic mutation. It's not like I'm sure there's a common situation with that. If only doctors gave a fuck instead of, you know, just try to profit off the industry of pharma. I digress. Yeah. So that's it. I have something wrong with me. That's a common denominator that nobody's done the research into to figure out what exactly that would mean. But maybe one day in maybe 50 years they'll give a fuck. I don't know. They started to give a fuck about POTS once COVID came around, because apparently multiple people got long hauler syndrome, which is POTS. Okay, and POTS can be caused by viruses, not just COVID, many viruses. So anyways, yeah, basically that's where we at. That's about it. I hate pharma, dude. Although I don't think it's worthless. It's just a business now instead of an actual fucking help to people, and it's gross. But, you know, I've felt that way for a long time. That's the liberal in me, I guess. Although I'm also a fucking, you know, I was a liberal, super liberal, till I opened my eyes. It got psyoped